All right, this is Algebra with Finance, Unit 2, Lesson 3, Algebra with Finance A, Unit 2, Lesson 3, box and whisker plots. All right, you've already seen stem and leaf plots, so I'm going to start with the stem and leaf plot. So here we go. This is a possible test score. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's our stem, and our leaves will be the ones place. So these are the tens place, and these will be, and then to the right will be the ones place. So 95, 94, 90, 87, 86, 86, 86, 84, 78, 78, 72, 72, 71, 70, 70, 65, 64, 64, 62, 58, and let's go a little bit more, 57, 48, and let's have a 27. Okay? So these represent test scores, 95, 94, 90, and so on. So hopefully you remember how to read a stem and leaf plot. Okay, but we're going to turn this into a box and whisker plot. Box and whisker plot. So here's how to do that. Your first task is to write the numbers in order. You can do that in decreasing order or increasing order. It really doesn't matter. Let's do it in decreasing order or increasing order. So 27. I'm just going to tick them off as I go. 48, 57, 58, 62, 64, 64, 65, 70, 70, 71, 72, 72, 78, 78, 70, 70, 71, 72, 72, 78, 78, 84, 86, 86, 86, 86, 87. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit here. Okay. 87, okay, those are the 80s. 90, 94, 95. Okay. All right, let's expand this out a little bit here. There we go. Okay. All right, so that's in order, right? And our task is to find the middle. So we find what's called the 5-number summary. The 5-number summary is the minimum, that's the lowest, okay? The first quartile, quartile 1. The median, that's the middle. Also, it could be called the second quartile. And quartile 3 and the max, okay? Notice there's no mean. We don't add them up and divide by how many there are. We simply find the middle. So I'm going to count how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Divide that by 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. So I'm going to count off 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That means there are 12 above this line and 12 below this line. And we can count to be sure. When you have two numbers in the middle, you average them. 72 plus 72 divided by 2, or take the number in between. In this case, they're both the same number. So that is the median. The median. Okay, or the middle or the second quartile. Now we're going to find the middle of the top half. So there are 12. So half of 12 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you have an odd number, you'll have one number in the middle. In this case, the numbers above and below are both the same, so it's 64. That is the quartile, that is the first quartile. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 86 is the second quartile. Quartile 2. Okay, and the min is the lowest number, and the max is the highest number. And that's how to find the 5-number summary. Okay, now to make the box and whisker plot, we set up a number line that extends at least from 27 to 95. Okay, so let's see how we can do this here. I'm going to go from 20 to 100, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see how we can do this here. What if I do every other one? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I could get away with 3 per, but dividing 100 by 3 or 10 by 3 is not an even proposition. So that's probably a good number line here. So you can set up a scale on your number line and make the scale appropriate, but make sure you count by the scale. Don't just label the, I've actually had students do this where they'll label the number line 27 and 64 and 72 and 86 and 95. The problem with that is that's not even spacing. That's not the same space between those numbers. You've got to have even spacing on a number line. Okay. And besides that, if you graph it that way, you'll get the same shape for every box and whisker plot. And that is kind of pointless. Okay, so here we go. Minimum 27, so here's 25. So 27 is like right here. Okay, and I'm going to label these 27. Okay, first quartile 64. 64 is a little less than 65. 64. Now, second quartile or median, 72. 72. And third quartile, not second quartile, third quartile, 86. Third quartile, 86. Fourth quartile, 90, or in the fourth quartile. It is the fourth quartile, but 95 is the max. So 95. Okay, and here's how we draw the graph, the box and whisker plot. We put the whiskers between the first 2 dots and the last 2 dots. We put the box between, in the middle, between the first quartile and the third quartile. Okay, the first quartile and the third quartile. Here we go. And now we've got some vertical lines here. Don't always have vertical lines on the ends, but it depends on style maybe a little bit. I typically put vertical lines here on the end of the whiskers to indicate where the minimum is. First quartile, median, and third quartile. Now what I want to point out is what you interpret from this graph. This tells you a little bit about the shape of the graph. Okay, it tells me there is a little skew left. That is a skew towards the bottom. And we can see that skew down here too. There's skew towards the bottom, skew left. Okay, a tail, left-hand tail on the stem and leaf plot. Okay, there's a little skew left. We can see there's a little bit of skew right when it comes to the main body, right? But the right-hand whisker is much smaller than the left-hand whisker. By the way, that means the mean or the average will be lower because the average always goes towards the skew. The average or the mean will be lower than 72. And I'm not going to take the time to do that. But that's how to make a box and whisker plot. Sometimes just called the box plot, but also called the box and whisker plot.